Thinking about upgrading the suspension on your Cub? Depending on your daily commute, it might be the best modification you can make. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. This is episode 18 of my How To 125 series, 125 how-to videos for your Honda Super Cub C125. Like always, if you're into Super Cub content, please subscribe. This video will cover the removal of the stock rear suspension. I will be replacing it with a 5-way adjustable suspension, which I will review in a later video. I chose this suspension as I ride through all sorts of terrain, from country roads to urban rides, buzzing through the park, or riding at high speeds for distances. For this project, you will need a 14mm socket wrench. You might also want to grab a spare rag or cloth to sit your suspension components on so they don't get scratched. You'll also need a suspension. I went with the Endurance rear suspension from WeBike. It's adjustable 5 ways and you can choose your color combination, and I went with black on black. Although it may seem odd now, I'm doing a complete color change of this bike. More on that later. Also, I paid for these. Endurance is not compensating me in any way. Also, if you have an aftermarket exhaust, it may have to be removed, as mine had to be, in order to get to the bottom of the suspension. This Yoshi-Mooch is from the 2019 model year, and so when I asked the manufacturer, they told me basically, we think it fits, but for legal purposes, it's only supposed to go on the 2019. I see why now. It's a very tight squeeze. Not a big deal. So first, use your 14mm wrench or socket and remove the top end cap, and then the bottom. Remove the shock by pulling it straight out and place it somewhere where it won't get damaged or scratched. Then go ahead and do the other side. Top, then bottom, then pull straight out. You're almost a professional at this already. Before installing, make sure to insert this shim into the top of the suspension. I'm not going to pretend I know exactly what this is for, but I imagine it's a damper to prevent vibration. When you go to reinstall, you'll note the swing arm has dropped down and it'll look like it doesn't fit. But don't fret. All you need to do is put your weight on the rear of the bike and it'll drop down and touch the ground. You can then slide it on no problem. From there, make sure they're nice and tight. Then, after riding for a full tank of gas, go ahead and check them again. For reference, the Honda service manual says that the torque specifications for these are 29 Newton meters, 3 kilogram force meters, or if you do things the American way, 31 foot-pounds. You're all done. Here's a quick before and after, even though for the after I forgot to put the exhaust back on. There we go. Here's a close-up of the suspension. I'll be doing a full review once I've racked up a few more miles in the saddle. For my next video, I'll be talking about my plans for this channel and this Cub. Please subscribe and stick around to see what happens to this bike. Otherwise, I hope I helped at least one person with this video. Thank you for watching and stay safe on your Cub or whatever else you ride.